Greetings, I'm Crazed Nally, and welcome back to Starmade. We finally have reset the server. It took a long time. This is a few days afterwards, and quite a bit has changed. Namely, my territory is gone. I am essentially starting fresh, to where this is probably going to change the nature of the survival series in the sense, wow, we've got a bit more territory, but even the shape of the galaxy is different. I claim this one nearby. I made a point of claiming a new sector that was close to spawn. Because, oh, I was 1,000 miles away. I was like around where that purple box is in distance, out in the outer arm. Because I thought it'd be cool and edgy to do this without actually being close to spawn and all the other people, when in reality it is about the worst thing I could have done. Just, you know, getting to lineups, getting to things like that. Now I picked one that's actually within the greater galactic community, which is just now starting to emerge from darkness. Pirate station's awfully close. I didn't know that was there. That's not really my problem right now. My problem is that I've started new. And yes, I can actually get... Whoa, I fell into gravity. When did that happen? I keep forgetting that's probably another change. There's barely any friction anymore in this server. They put the friction, I believe, to 0.01 in Mushroom Fleet. And this has good and bad news kind of implications. The good news is I can now essentially just hold down full speed and fly over yonder. In fact, I better plot a new course. I picked a system with almost entirely asteroids. For my planet, it actually really doesn't matter what I mine. But with this, I can go and just hold down, you know, the speed button, and then I'll be A-okay. However, you will keep going almost infinitely. Like when I came here, I accidentally let go. I forgot to stay in the room when I was doing that. I flew into the sun, and then I flew out the other side, and into an entirely different system by the end of it. And by the end of that fun little excursion, I had gone, my ship had flown away. I had to chase it with the core. 200 kilometers. And I didn't have enough blocks of any sort. And I couldn't, if I went away from it, I would lose it. So I had the blocks on my person. I did not have enough blocks to stop it or even nudge it. So I just had to kind of align myself to it and just chase it down. And it took about 2 hours of continually chasing the ship. So, I have learned my lesson. We will not just hold down the button and then walk away. We will be paying attention. It is cruise control, not autopilot. But I picked a place with a lot more asteroids. I made planets a priority the first time. And there's my shop. That's part of the other major change I'll get to in a moment, but I picked a system with lots of asteroid belts, as opposed, and at different ranges, as opposed to one that had a lot of planets. It has 2 planets, and I'm gonna use them both, because what I'm gonna get at, one change that has been controversial. If you notice, I have 1 credit right now. 1 credit is approximately dick. I can't do anything with that. And all the shops, when they first started, and I was here the day it reset, had 1 credit. They regenerate 1 credit per hour. It's been about 4 days, so there might be a few hundred credits in there. It's not enough to do much of anything, and it makes selling anything virtually impossible. So, that's cool in that it forces the players themselves, when they trade amongst each other, to use blocks. And it forces you to be more self-reliant and reliant on crafting, to where you're not going to just buy your stuff from the shop. However, the big problem And I still think it's a problem, so if this is controversial, I'm sorry for those on Mushroom Fleet. I do not like the way it was implemented for the stations. It still costs 1 million credits to put a station down, to place a station. Which, that's completely insurmountable. To where, and I was told this, and I thought it was hilarious at the time. The two ways you can get a station are to find an abandoned station, and then that costs money. You understand? You have to buy every block when you claim a station for the first time. When I claim an abandoned station or a pirate station, blew the faction block out of, anything like that, you have to go there and buy it with credits per block. And usually if it has a lot of hull or shield blocks or something like that, that's gonna set you back about $1 billion. So what you have to do is, once you get to an abandoned station, you place a build block, and then you proceed to build remove, not build, all of the blocks except for one, and then you place a dirt block. Remove that, and that costs 5 credits, which, unless you have a bunch of buddies in your faction, or you're willing, now it would be a little bit more surmountable. Now it's easier. But when I could do it, I was like, I'm going to have to wait 4 hours just to do this. But it's an option. I don't like that you pretty much are starting as a dirt block. And I don't like that you don't have choice of placement. That's my only issue with that idea. I can't move a derelict station around. But it's a valid option, especially now that the credits have regenerated. Or you could take my route, which is the screw stations. I'm just going to claim a planet. Place the faction block on it, and say I'm marking this for my plan. Put a faction block on it, and then, so where did I put it all? It's here somewhere. I think it's on that one. No? Where did I put it? Oh, that one. Now I see the green. But put everything on this hill. I put my faction block, and I claimed it like a station, and claimed the system from the faction block. So this is now an invincible station, which came up with my idea, because ships are a little more temporary, and this is all a little bit temporary, because we reset the universe a little bit more often than what is normal, than what I was used to. We were around for 4 months before we reset, and that's actually unheard of. Usually people do only wait a month. And until, you know, constant updates stop, that's probably going to be the case. I'm going to create a planet base for the first time. I found this tiny little planet in a picturesque spot where the sun is, to where it has these amazing lighting and stuff, and it's small enough to where I don't feel like I have to build the palace of Brunei or something on this station, but I can make a little fortress on this. So that's my goal. A little less focus on the spaceships for now, a little more on the base, because I neglected my base, and now I can't have it spawned in, but it'll be decayed. So that's not really worth it. I think I'm going to actually, instead of doing that, first I'm going to see if I can have it exported to where I can take it, but I doubt it. And if not, it wouldn't be that hard to recreate what I had done. And I just build the station on single player, and then they will actually import it. They're totally cool with that. But what this means is all basic ships. Gravity is weak on this planet, but it still affects me. As you can see, I went, come way out of my way to design an aesthetically pleasing. No. I pretty much, if we started the server, if you were there that day, the owner of the server, Tamina, would actually give you a because we were starting fresh, it gave us starting mining craft, and I cannibalized it so I could make it a little more efficient, and added some stuff, but I had taken it apart, and I wanted it to be fast more than armored. I don't care if it's armored. I don't care if this gets destroyed. This is simply to get asteroids as quickly as possible so I can come here and begin work, and maybe armor the ship or add more thrusters over time, but no, I wasn't worried about making it pretty. I was worried about making it work. It has powerful salvage cannons, it has chests attached, it has enough power and enough thrusters. So we are ready to roll. A few days have passed. The newest update has actually created quite a bit of crashing in this server, and I'm not exactly sure why. Probably the new graphical interface, which I'll be touching upon next episode, but I have completed a bit with my planet slash station slash base thing, mainly on this side. I have what would be the inner workings of my primary mining ship in this universe. It just needs, you know, to be decorated, but I have an interesting shape and it's a pretty powerful miner. I need to add a little bit more systems, but it's gonna pretty much just have a jump drive and some cannons in order to make it a continuous beam. But other than that, I'm probably... Nah, I don't even need the continuous beam. It would take as much laser cannons, animator cannons to do that as... Well, I could fill the empty space. I don't know. I'll toy with that. All I'd have to do is fill the empty space, really. And it would probably work. But I'll start doing that type of thing next time. I have a mining ship and a parking space, which is ridiculous. But as I touched upon, my newest plan is to just make this into my base as opposed to making a station. Even though that plan isn't all that useful, I'm probably gonna work on an actual station. I lost the side I was supposed to be on. Where is that? All I have to do is wait for the cursor, I think. Or I could do this. That could be smart too. But here is where I'll begin. This is pretty much Galactic North. And this will be the plate I begin to build my city, my little complex on this. But that's next time. If you enjoyed me starting fresh, hit the like button. And as always, click the nut on your way out.
Vengeance.